Education has been called our second eye. Our first eye is skin with which we see, helps us to see physical things in front of us. Our second eye, education, allows us to unfold the invisible potential that is always around and is not visible by the pair of eyes, but requires intellect to tap and unfold the potential. Pandit Shriram Sharma Acharya. Book title: Shiksha Vyavastha Kaisi Ho. India has made significant progress in improving the educational opportunities for all children, but substantial gaps in literacy remain. In India alone, approximate 266 million people cannot read and write, which represents 35% of world's adult population. Without basic reading and writing skills, many educational and employment doors remain closed for India's young population. The COVID-19 pandemic has upended school system around the world. The pace has been frenetic as systems have had to stand up remote learning overnight and plan whether or how to reopen schools amid changes in epidemiological circumstances. The scope of the challenge has thus far left little time for deeper reflection. The question thus raises, what are the issues you would want to investigate in diagnosing the conditions of the current school system in the country? Some of the factors we may think of are the quantity of the available education. What is access to education and how does this differ by age region and demographic groups? What is the supply of teachers and education resources both at a national and regional or local level? What is the spent on education nationally or regionally or locally? The quality of available education. How is the quality of the current curriculum, for example, subjects taught in school and the attainment knowledge objectives? National Education Policy 2020 has taken all these factors into consideration and defined education as fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. Providing universal access to quality education is the key to India's continued ascent and leadership on a global stage in terms of economic growth. Social justice and equality, scientific advancement, national integration, and cultural preservation. Education is absolutely needed to know a lot of things. Through books, through information, through history, we can see and understand the past. We understand the problems of the present, what is happening in the whole world, and what is the nature of the world. This helps us to anticipate the possibilities of the future. As every human being needs food to satisfy the hunger of their stomach, and it helps our body to be healthy, similarly, education is needed to quench the hunger of the mind and intellect to keep them healthy. Currently, focus is mostly on education children. Many adults, especially in rural areas, are still illiterate. The sooner our illiterate country becomes literate, the better. Therefore, adult schools and night schools net should be laid to make 100% literacy in our country. This work should be done by public servants and by public institutions. Technology is transforming the way we live. For example, in just a few years, most of us have come to depend on mobile devices in our pockets. But even though hundreds of millions of people worldwide now rely on mobile technology for many simple tasks, we have yet to tap its full potential to transform learning. Mobile networks cover almost 90% of the global population today, creating an unprecedented platform to increase the availability of education. Glad to present a small book on the topic that explains about how the education system should be. This book helps us understand what education is, the importance of education, how to become independent with education, and benefits of being educated. Book excerpts from the book. Education should be expanded as much as possible. The person who does not have education, that is not educated, cannot read, cannot write. Calling him ignorant in a way is not wrong. Therefore, every person contributes to expanding education from their end. Physical knowledge, mental knowledge, family knowledge, national knowledge, moral knowledge, and religious knowledge are required to remove mental desolation. people will have to study for this. Any person can't have so much knowledge related to life and information and current problems except literature, magazines, and books. Educated people should grab the opportunity to give some of their time in the form of labor donation for adult education and in the form of charity for society. Their contribution will help society to evolve. Education is said to be that thing that can support material needs. Knowledge is the name of that thing that helps man to do its duties, responsibilities, and virtue with integrity. It helps to make his deeds and nature right. It teaches advantages and disadvantages and teaches people not to deviate from walking on the right path. Important topics covered in the book: need of education, how to run an adult school for women, what to teach children, how should be education system after primary, self-reliance with education, cottage industry, Japan's idealism, only required subject should be taught, education and learning.